welcome to my channel where we discuss the popular culture of the 70s, 80s, 90s. Yeah, some big news hit the Transformer world today. Now, these things have been teased a little bit here and there from different sources. There have been some leaks, there have been some early reveals, and some people even got some crazy prototypes from God knows where. It seems like Transformers toys are being slowly leaked out in any number of fashions, and a lot of people are getting early looks at this. But today, Hasbro did in fact release official images of the '86 Studio Series Transformers, and I'm totally blown away. It's hard to really judge all of these leaks and these prototypes that people have been showing off, YouTubers and pictures online. But when the official release happens from Hasbro, this is something that we have to pay attention to, and there are a couple of things that I really want to touch on, but I do want to say that I want to applaud Hasbro for doing this. I mean, earlier this year, a few weeks ago, actually, realistically, over at PulseCon, they announced the Critisan Pit of Judgment, a few months ago, letting everybody know that they would be on sale at PulseCon, and I lost my mind. I seriously lost my mind. Dex and I tried to get 2 sets. We eventually did through a whole different way, and you can check my older video for that on my other channel. But yeah, it was quite the experience, and having it in hand now, it is incredible. It's beyond my wildest dreams. I really do love the set. It's incredible the way they've actually put it together. The scene is incredible. The Quintesson Judge himself, along with the bailiff, the prosecutor, Kranix, and of course the Sharkticon. What an amazing set! Seriously, it blew me away. Still, I can't believe that I have this in my hands. Literally, what is it now? 30 plus years later, just incredible. And now, after this long, we finally get what I would consider to be one of the best renditions of 2 of the most popular characters from the 1986 movie. It is in fact Hot Rod and Jazz. Now these pictures come from news.tfw2005.com. They've been able to get a hold of these images, and I want to thank them for having these up here. Look at these gorgeous shots. These are, I believe, official shots from Hasbro, and I mean, what can I say? This is just holy crap. Just looking at Jazz himself, as I understand it, there were a lot of problems getting Jazz, to be approved. Porsche apparently was just not letting it happen. It was just these, licensing issues galore. So the fact that they've actually been able to put Jazz in this format, I don't know how they did their magic. It's something happened, but he is every bit as Jazz looking as he was in the 1986 movie. And then there's Hot Rod, and he looks incredible in terms of like what I see. I've been keeping my eye on some Masterpiece Hot Rod offerings, and I gotta say, they really are using what they learned from the Masterpiece line, Hasbro, I mean, and attributing it to their smaller figures, their mainline releases, for actual toys. And you can really see that, how evident that is in these 2 figures. They just look incredible. So let's take a look at Jazz first, and then we're going to move on to Hot Rod, because I have a lot of things I want to talk about with Hot Rod. Jazz looks incredible. I have the re-released, I think it was 2002, actually maybe even earlier than that, release of Jazz from the G1 version. And he's always been a really great toy. Obviously not much articulation in the original version. This one looks beautiful. He looks like Jazz. He's got that aesthetic. He has those lines. The great paint decos here are incredible. Those blue highlights, on his midsection. His face sculpt is spot on. I think he looks He looks exactly every bit jazzy as you want him to be. He really does look exactly the way he should look like from the movie and from the G1 series. His Porsche mode here, wow. This really does look like a 1980s version of a Porsche Cayenne, and that's crazy. You know what I mean? Sorry. Did I say Cayenne? I meant Porsche Carrera. It looks really, really great. Some people are talking about how Jazz's number is not 14; it's number 4. You know what? That doesn't bother me at all. It's just the aesthetic here is incredible. He's got the wheels look right, the bumper looks right, the hood is amazingly decoed. You know what I mean? Like, we don't see any of the other rally stickers on here, but that doesn't matter. It really does look like Jazz. I guess those are his feet sticking out in the back there. That's not really a Porsche thing, but it looks great. That gigantic spoiler, top notch. He really does look great in his alt mode, and the fact that he transforms into something like this, that just blows my mind. I'm really very happy with the way this is turning out. Can't ask for anything more, and which is very reminiscent of the actual studio series. He comes with Moonbase 1, a Moonbase 1 backdrop. You can see him on the computer panel here. You can see Moonbase 2 on the holy cow, you can see Moonbase 2 in a window here. This is just insane. Now, cardboard cutouts, they can be hit and miss. I mean, if I was to actually pull out the Quintesson Pit of Judgment, I've seen other people pull it out. The platform where Kranich stands, unfortunately, because of the way they positioned everything, the hole punches that they used can sometimes damage the bridge. This, luckily enough, is just a fold out, much like some of the other backdrops that have been included with the studio series. So Jazz looks wonderful in this. Seriously, it just looks incredible. I love the way Jazz just can just stand on that platform and make it look as if he's actually interacting with the screen, much like he did in the movie with Cliffjumper. And I wager Cliffjumper in this scene would look great. I think it's going to be a wonderful addition to the overall aesthetic. Love the way this is turning out. I'm so excited for this. We can see here that he is the packaging does say that it's 8601. I believe that's the designation of how he's being released. Let's take a look at the packaging now. Just wow. Just incredible. I love this illustration of Jazz here. He's got that great smirk, that wonderful playful smile that Jazz is well known for. We can see again 8601 Studio Series, and of course he is a deluxe class because he's rather small. Wonderful aesthetics here, and the box is your standard flare in terms of like the Studio Series, but I love the fact that it's it's got a blue hue to it. You can see him clearly in the window box. He comes with the signature blaster. The illustration looks great, and this little addition here that says Transformers the movie, wow, just wow. Autobot Jazz, super excited about this. I am very stoked to be. Hopefully it won't be too hard to get him. I'm hoping to find him in the wild. Failing that, I might have to actually do a pre-order somehow. Again, here in Canada, things are hit and miss. It's really difficult to really figure out how that's going to work. But we'll make it happen. We'll definitely try our best to do that. So now we come to Hot Rod. To me, was a fan favorite. He really was the star of the show. He really was, and seeing him here, he really does. This particular version of Hot Rod really does capture what I wanted all this time for a figure from Transformers the movie. Hot Rod looks incredible. I love the way his pose here, all the points of articulation. It literally looks like he's jumping off the screen. Now there have been some people who are saying, the shoulders are a little bit interesting, what have you. Still, I am in love with this character. He really does look as if he's jumped off the screen. So as we can see, he comes with a whole array of accessories here, and that's great. He comes with his his cutter here, which he used to help Cup escape the tentacles of the squid monster. He comes with 2 blasters, which again, for me, that's always great. Obviously, the G1 figure did come with blasters, but in the movie he never used them. He used his side cannons, which for me was more than enough. But I guess accessories are accessories, and heck, I'd rather have more than less. So that's really great. All these wonderful blast effects, they look great. They are very different from some of the blast effects that we've seen with Jetfire and with Omega Supreme and other Voyager class figures, Skylynx and such, and of course the newer blast effects that come with the Masterpiece editions. But they are very interesting. I love that blue hue that they come with. Very, very interesting. And then here's the part that kind of sort of baffles me, but at the same time I get it. But I do have to sort of mention this. I mean, it's something that I think a lot of people have glossed over a little bit. He comes with the Matrix. Now, yeah, I know a lot of people at first you'd think to yourself, yeah, of course he's going to come with the Matrix. He's Hot Rod. He's the one who saves everybody, right? He's the one who opens up the Matrix and lights our darkest hour. But let's just think about that for a second. He does not do that. Guys, he does not open the Matrix. The moment he touches the Matrix, and I think that's really, for me, the big thing. When he touches the Matrix, he becomes imbued with the power and given, transfiguration, if you will. He becomes someone else. He becomes Rodimus Prime. And that, I think, is what's happening with this, brilliant blast effect, if you will. The Matrix being released, or just shining, actually, because when Hot Rod actually picks up the Matrix, its power literally breaks apart the chains that are holding it on Galvatron, and allows Hot Rod the time and energy to finally defeat Galvatron one-on-one. But it's not Hot Rod. It is, in fact, Rodimus Prime. As a matter of fact, that is what happens. Optimus Prime does say, "Arise, Rodimus Prime." Right? And then, things change. He gains, 2 or 3, a foot more. He was really a small Autobot, and now he's literally, a big Autobot. So, I just want to kind of, I'm skipping ahead here, but this scene here, a beautiful backdrop, wonderful. The interior of Unicron, of course, where Hot Rod had his final battle with Galvatron, and of course became Rodimus Prime. This is actually Hot Rod as he's transforming. His transfiguration begins, because right now he's still in the state of Hot Rod. As Optimus says, "Arise, Rodimus Prime," that's when he starts gaining, a foot or 2 in height, and becomes the hero which actually saves, opens up the Matrix and releases the light which will light their darkest hour. So, I just had to mention that. I felt like I had to mention that. It's pretty nitpicky on my part, but I really do think it's important that everyone remembers that it's not. This is not Rodimus Prime. This is definitely Hot Rod. And this scene here, yeah, you know what? I think it is, but it's not. The Matrix is not lighting the darkest hour yet, because that destiny is meant for Rodimus Prime. So yeah, just being nitpicky, just being just as a lover of this movie, as a huge fan of this movie, I just felt that I should actually mention that. Anyway, moving on. If we look at his alt mode, oh my gosh, this is incredible. You know what? I have seen the Masterpiece edition of Hot Rod, and I have to say, as I've mentioned many times already, whatever they've done with the Masterpiece editions, they've taken that knowledge and applied it to these, War for Cybertron figures, the studio series, all the figures that they've released so far in toy format have really benefited from the Masterpiece line. This looks incredible. He looks right. He looks great in my opinion. Everything is in the right place. He looks like a wonderful example of what a hot rod should look like. Honestly, I am super excited for this release. I'm beside myself. This is a great time to be a Transformers fan in general, but if you love the '86 movie, you are definitely going. I think I am super excited about this, and I know that other fans are going to be excited too. Love the transparent plastic. They looks great. You can see some of the interior in there. You're definitely not going to get Daniel inside there, but still, it looks amazing. And just to finish this off, the packaging looks great. I love the illustration here. He's holding the Matrix. That wonderful hue of blue. 8604, which is interesting because obviously there's a 02 and a 03. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to find out how many releases are in this line in the first wave. He is a Voyager class, as we can see here, and of course he does have that badge that says that he is from the Transformers the movie. Incredible! I am so excited for this new line of figures that are coming out, and it does make me scratch my head a little bit. Because from what I understand, Scourge is going to be also in the studio series, as well as Grimlock, I think, and Cup. Those are the rumors. I think Blur might also be included in there somewhere. But then you look at some of the releases that have already been announced for Kingdom, and Cyclonus comes to mind, and you're like, well, what's going on here? And in the poster for War for Kingdom, we see Galvatron. So these are really kind of questionable things. It's going to be very interesting to see how they tie all this together, if they decide to tie it together. I wouldn't be surprised if they did a re-release or a second release of Galvatron and Cyclonus on the studio series, with slight retooling, slight paint decos that are a little bit different. It wouldn't surprise me at all. But yeah, I'm still super excited for this line. I'm beyond excited. I can't wait for these things to be released. It is a wonderful time to be a Transformers fan, and just a fan of retro action figures in general. Whether it's Masters of the Universe Origins or G.I. Joe Classified series, or even the retro collection from G.I. Joe. This is one heck of a crazy time to be a retro cartoon fan. But you know what, guys? What do you think of this new studio series announcement? I know that this has been teased for some time. There are so many people who have been talking about it, so many great YouTubers who have mentioned these things. But are you excited about this series? Which one is your favorite? Who are you hoping to see? Are you amazed by this line? Are you amazed by these new pictures? Do they disappoint you? Is there someone that you're looking forward to in terms of upcoming releases? Does the fact that Cyclonus and Galvatron being teased in Kingdom confuse you as much as it does me? That they're not getting into the studio series, at least not yet? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please leave those comments in the comment section below. And guys, as always, I really appreciate you listening to this episode. If you did enjoy it, please do leave me a like. It really does help me out. If you have any comments or suggestions on new topics that we can discuss, please leave that in the comment section below. And please consider subscribing, as it helps YouTube to realize that I'm doing a great job and you guys enjoy my work. Well, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Geek Proud. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you'd like to support the channel, please see the link in the description below. I've got more videos on the way, and we'll see you at the next one. Geek Proud.